So I'm going to take a look at the Apply Project Template application from the OpenExchange. So to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is just open a project package that I've got sitting on my folder. It's a really simple thing just to show you how it works, and so I can do it quickly. So there's my project package, it's down there, and if I click on my project settings, what I can see is I've got no term bases in here. If I click on the translation memory settings, I've got one term base that's been provided within the project package. If I go to the verification options, they're all turned on, and it's got its own settings, sort of like that. Looks like the default settings. It looks like nothing in here has really been changed. No word list, no regular expressions, no trademark checks, no length verifications. So there's nothing really configured or set up there in there at all. Now if I now go to my file setup, project templates, I have a project template here, which if I edit it, you can see in here my settings for which verification checks I'm going to do are different. I'm not using the MS Word grammar checker, or it's disabled in this particular template. If I open up the QA checker, you might not be able to remember, but these are different, definitely different to the settings that were inside that project that came in the package. There was nothing checked in here at all. None of those were checked. There was nothing in the word list. There was no regular expressions, no trademark checked, no verification. And actually in the verify and the verification settings, I've also got I've got a term base associated with this, although it's not being used to check for anything. And in my language pairs, you can see I've already got more here. I've got 5 translation memories, and in my term bases I've got 2 term bases. So this is what's in my project template. And if I want to apply those, normally I'd have to then open my project settings in here for the project I've just created from the package, and add all of those resources one at a time, import the QA settings, make sure that everything was set up as I wanted to do it. What I can do now is I can just right click and select Apply Project Template, or alternatively I can go to Add-ins and click on Apply Project Template. Those things both do the same thing. I haven't got a keyboard shortcut set up, but just in case anybody is wondering how to set up a keyboard shortcut, in the options, if you come down here into keyboard shortcuts, you can see that when you've got this application installed, there is an Apply Studio Project Template item, which is one shortcut to call it up. I'm not using this because I can never remember all of my shortcuts, so I'm going to use my preferred method, which is just to right click, apply the Studio Project Template. So this then brings up the little window that you can see in the article. You can select the template you want from your list. I'm going to use my Keep Cool template. I'm going to apply it to the selected project. So you could apply this to multiple projects if you wanted. I'm just doing it to this one, which I've got selected here. And then I'm going to merge my translation memories, so I should have 6 translation memories when this is finished. My 5 plus the one that's there. I'm going to overwrite any of the settings with my template settings. I'm going to merge the term bases, so there should be 2 term bases that get added. Then I'm going to keep the settings for the batch processing and file types that came with the project package, and I'm going to overwrite all of the settings for verification with my own. So what I'm going to do now is just click on OK. Now you get this little warning here. This has got to do with the naming convention of the term base. It's not a problem with the application. It's not going to cause you a bug, but it's just giving you a warning that you need to check really that your term bases are correctly named, and I've written in the article an explanation of how to do that before you do this, just in case it causes a problem to your term bases. And this is because of an issue with the actual API that's being used here. It's not a problem in the application. This is the application being responsible and just telling you there could be a problem. And it only affects term bases. So if you don't use glossaries or term bases, then that also will be completely irrelevant. In fact, you probably won't get the warning. So I click on OK, and that's it. Those settings have now been applied. So if I now click on my project settings, and what I can see in the verification checkings is the Microsoft Word Grammar Check has been unchecked, which is what I wanted. If I look at the QA checker and just flick through these, maybe a bit hard for you to remember, but these are definitely not the ones that were in the original project. None of these were activated before. None of these have been checked. Here we go. I didn't have a word list. I have now. I've got my regular expressions, got my trademark check, length verification. If I go down to the language pairs and I open up my language pairs, you can see I've now got 6 translation memories in here, set up as I had them set up. So the first 5 are the 5 that are in my template, and the one at the bottom there is the one that came with the project. And I'm only updating the one that was in my template that was checked for update, and the one that came with my client's TM that's also set for update. I can make a simple change there if I wanted to. And if I click on my term bases, you can see I now have 2 term bases that are there and are ready to use. Perfect. So a couple of clicks and I'm ready to go. Really fantastic application, and I'd recommend anybody takes it. Or maybe there's just one thing I should note here. The term-based language, the indexes have not been set. I don't know why that is, but if you see that, all you need to do is click on there and set the languages to make sure that they're in place, and you're going to have no problems with term recognition while you're working. That does happen sometimes, so just check that. Click on OK and you're ready to go. And that's it. Hope it was useful.